In this video, we're going to take our knowledge of cooperatives to the next level and learn how to distinguish between cooperatives and non-cooperative style businesses. As always, I'm going to give a shout out to the Tennessee Council of Cooperatives and thank them for sponsoring these videos. I'd also like to thank my employer, Middle Tennessee State University, for assisting with this project. I am Justin Gardner, the Ag Business Professor at Middle Tennessee State University. Let's get rolling. All right, let's just be honest here. Cooperatives can be a little bit confusing. If you're just a little bit confused by everything I'm throwing at you in these videos, that's all right. It took me a long time to figure out what all this meant. So let me throw some buzzwords at you. These are some common words we hear used around cooperatives. And anytime you hear any of these words used in a business name, you should stop and think, hey, this might be a cooperative. On the list we see words like member, federated, mutual, union, patron, and principles or maybe values. What you need to remember is a lot of non-cooperative businesses and nonprofit corporations are going to behave very similar to cooperatives. For example, concern for community and duty to educate. It's not unusual to run into non-cooperative style businesses that are concerned for their community and do believe they should be educating people. Let's consider the word patron first. In a general sense, the word patron means financial supporter. You may, for example, be a patron saint or a patron of the arts. So if you donate money to an art museum, you are a patron of the arts. If you do business with a company, they may thank you for your patronage. In other words, they're thanking you for doing business with them that provides them the financial support they need to keep running that business. Whereas in a cooperative, we're specifically using that last definition. A patron is the person that uses that cooperative and as a result of using it, provides the cooperative the support they need to operate. Remember, our member and our patron should be the same person and they should be supporting our cooperative, providing direct economic support for the cooperative. Let's examine that word membership for a minute. I remember when I was a child watching TV and the American Express ads would come on and they would say membership has its privileges. Maybe it wasn't an American Express, it really doesn't matter, but this is just an advertising slogan that a company used to create an air of exclusivity. You weren't actually joining the company. If you wanted to get your right to have profits from that company, you had to buy stock in the country. If you go to Sam's Club or Costco, you're a member. There's a company named Hiller that sells heating and air conditioning services here in the Middle Tennessee area. And they tell you on their radio ads you should join the Happy Hiller Club and be a member of their, that's basically a marketing thing, right? None of the above businesses are cooperatives. They all exist for the benefit of their investors, meaning their patrons have no claim on the profits or assets of the business. And here's a great acid test to see if it actually is a cooperative. For all the businesses on the previous slide, it would be an epic failure to do business at cost. We would call that breaking even. That would be not earning a profit. And if you don't earn a profit, your investors are going to run away from your company with their money and you're going to be out of business. A cooperative, however, is slightly different. The cooperative does want to make a profit, but only so it can hand that profit right back to its members, right back to its patrons, because it wants to do business at cost. Another fancy word you'll see around cooperatives is federation or federated. In a more general sense, a federation is a form of government. I'm reminded of Star Trek and the Federation of Planets. The term is also used, it's used everywhere. It turns out it's a type of internet network. We see a lot of non-government organizations and unions use the term. In the sense of a cooperative, we have a thing called a federated cooperative, and they're very easy to recognize. The members of a federated cooperative are not people or businesses. The members are other cooperatives. The best example I can think of is the Tennessee Farmers Cooperative. It uses a federated structure, meaning that your local county cooperative that you're a member of, well, that cooperative is a member of the Tennessee Farmers Cooperative. Let's consider the word mutual. You may have heard of a mutual fund or a mutual insurance company. Now, a mutual insurance company is a business that is definitely using a cooperative model because the patron is going to receive equity and benefits. Here's what that means. If you buy an insurance policy from a mutual insurance company, At the end of the year, if that company has turned a profit, they're going to give you a little kickback as a policy holder, and they'll even say that we don't have shareholders. The people who own the policies own the business. That's a cooperative business model. There's a thing called a mutual fund. It's an investment vehicle that some people might classify as a cooperative. There are credit unions, which definitely are cooperatives. There are banks, and sometimes they'll use the word mutual in their name or in their title. Now, is a mutual a cooperative? Not every business with the word mutual in its name is going to be a cooperative, but many of them are going to be. In order to find out, you've got to usually dig a little deeper and ask things like, is it doing business at cost? Is it providing benefits to its members? Do the members get to vote? Do they control it and own it? Just kind of go back to our definition of a cooperative and compare this business with that definition to see if their behavior matches our definition. What about the word union? Well, a union is not a cooperative, but many cooperatives are going to use the word union in their name. The National Farmers Union, for example, started out as the Farmers Education Cooperative Union. The National Farmers Union is a cooperative. They don't use the word cooperative, they use the word union, but they definitely are. So it's going to be kind of hit or miss. So you're going to see some cooperatives call themselves a union. So what's the acid test? How do we define a cooperative? How do we identify? It comes back to this definition as I referenced earlier. Is it user-owned? Does the user get the benefit? Does the user control it? And is it doing business at cost is also another good acid test. And I like that last one as an acid test because it allows us to simply ask the question, hey, if this business were to actually do business at cost and break even a year, would that be okay? And if the answer is no, then, well, it's definitely not a cooperative.